Hello, I'm really excited to be bringing you today's video as I will be talking to you about how to go about planning your wedding day timeline. I've also got a really nice RT timeline for you which I will be filling in and talking you through an example. Do keep watching until the end because I have a freebie that some of you might find useful if you are currently wedding planning. Hello, if you are new here, my name is Jenny. I'm a Winchester wedding photographer in Hampshire in the UK, and on this channel I hope to post some informative videos for you on wedding planning and also camera gear reviews. As I said already, today I am talking to you about how to start planning your wedding day timeline. It's going to be a bit of an information dump, but I do have that very pretty timeline for you that's a little bit arty, which I hope you will enjoy watching. So as I am based in the UK, then this timeline is what a typical UK wedding is like. It is just an example timeline, so please bear in mind that yours will be different depending on what's happening on your day, if you are incorporating other traditions that I don't mention in this video, or if you kind of miss elements out as well, so it will be different. Okay, so now I'll launch my Photoshop screen where I have my timeline. Here we are. This is the timeline that I made for you. I have a little golden thread that's running through it, or golden road. I usually start in the middle. The one immovable thing in the day is the time when you are actually tying the knot, getting married, doing all the legal bits. So that's where I usually start. But my friend Sean from Amethyst Wedding, she's a wedding planner, she actually suggested starting right at the very end when you actually leave your party and then work backwards from there. So that's the way she likes to work. Okay, so I am used to starting in the middle, so that's where I'm going to start. Let me know in the comments down below where you end up starting, if you find it better to start at the end or the middle. So again, the immovable time of day in your day is when you are getting married, your ceremony time. Now I have a little church icon here, so I'm going to use that, but obviously it could be at a registry office, or wherever you are actually doing the legal bit, the ceremony of your day. The tradition is the bride gets to the church a little bit late, but really most people kind of get there on time or slightly earlier. So if it is a church, then probably aim to get there about 10 minutes before the start of your ceremony time, so that you can get ready and do all the bits and pieces. So say the ceremony is at 1 p.m, then your arrival will be around 12:50 maybe. Or if you were getting married in the registry office, then that would have to be a lot earlier. It'll be around 12:40 probably, and also all your guests will be arriving around 12:30 as well. Okay, you need to work back from that and actually think about your travel time. Make sure that you allow for traffic and for any delays that might happen during your traveling from your, where you're getting ready to your ceremony place, and then work backwards from there. As I said, make sure you allocate lots of time for travel. And then the next main bit, I think, is when you put your dress on, or when you put your whole attire on. Again, I have a wedding dress icon here, so I'm using the wedding dress for that. And usually that would be, for the timings on this example, I would say that would be around 12 o'clock. So about half an hour before you are due to leave, it'll be nice to put your dress on. And then I would personally arrive a few, maybe an hour before you actually put your dress on, so that I can get all the detail shots, or the shot of your dress before you actually put it on. And so I will say that's around 11 a.m. and then work backwards from there for your hair and makeup. Now, it very much depends on how many people the hair and makeup people are actually, helping with their hair and makeup. So your number of bridesmaids, and whether or not, your mother of the bride or mother of the groom, if they're kind of having their hair and their makeup done as well, then allocate enough time for that to happen. So work backwards from there. I know quite a few of my hair and makeup colleagues. I will actually link them down below because they help me with the timings on these as well. They mostly have said they start either kind of 7 or 8 a.m. in the morning, depending on how many people they need to make up. And then work backwards from there, maybe a couple of hours before that, for when you want to set your alarm. And make sure that you have enough time for leisurely kind of get up and have a shower and that kind of thing, and have breakfast as well. Make sure you have something to eat.
Okay, let's jump back to the ceremonies. Ceremonies will
Okay, let's jump back to the ceremony time. Ceremonies will vary in length depending on where you have it. A civil ceremony will typically last around 20 minutes. A religious ceremony can last between 30 minutes, 45 minutes, up to an hour if you are having a full mass with it. So after the ceremony, then you are most likely going to be doing something like a confetti throw, or there will be a time when you sort of come out and your guests will come out and they will want to congratulate you. There'll be a bit of kind of time kind of saying hello to people. I also like to take a few formal pics, a few formal photos at the ceremony venue, so that you have got some formal pictures at the ceremony venue, and you can always take some more of the formal pictures at your reception venue as well. But yes, allocate a few minutes of some formal pictures at your ceremony venue. And then we're going on to travel time. Again, allocate enough time to travel from ceremony to the reception. Typically, your guests will arrive at your reception venue before you, because you'll probably be taking a few more photos, and a few of your guests will probably move on to the drinks reception. So the drinks reception at your reception venue, again, typically this could last from 1.5 hours to 2 hours. Again, it depends how far people have to travel. Obviously, if everything's happening in the same location, then you don't have that travel time and everything will be much more condensed. Next kind of fairly immovable time on your timeline is actually the time when you sit down to have your wedding breakfast, or you have your dinner. So your caterers would usually like to keep as close as possible to the time that they have down, because obviously they have to prepare the food so that it's all nice and warm and hot, and ready at the right time for when your guests need to sit down and actually eat them. So that's the next sort of immovable time. And you need to think about when to have your speeches, because some people do have their speeches before the wedding breakfast, so you get it all over and done with, or you can have it, the traditional way is usually having it after the wedding breakfast, usually after the desserts. Sometimes people have them after the main meal, before the desserts. But allocate again around 2 hours probably for the actual eating part for a 3-course dinner. And then you go forward from there. Obviously, if you're having the speeches after that, then allocate time for that. But then after the speeches, then you usually have a tea break, and usually, you know, people mill around, have a little bit of a break, have a little bit of a wander, and usually around this time is the arrival of your evening guests as well. Okay. We'll say that this is around 7 to 7:30 is your tea break and arrival of the evening guests. The next bit is your cake cutting and also the first dance. Usually this happens one after the other. You would cut the cake, you know, once everyone have arrived, all the evening guests have arrived. So you'll cut the cake so everyone can see, and then usually you would immediately go into your first dance because everybody is already gathered around. Okay, so the next bit after that, so usually I would actually leave after a little bit of dancing, a little bit of disco after the first dance. So I like to take photos of the first dance, and then I would take photos, hopefully of lots of people dancing, and then would be leaving after that. Kind of, we're talking around 8 to 8:30 for the first dance and the cake cut. And so I'll leave soon after 8:30 usually. And then after that, a little bit of dancing. You then have another little break where people usually would serve the evening buffet, again for the evening guests. So let's say your buffet is out around 9 o'clock, and after that you can still have a little bit more of a party, dancing, or whatever evening entertainment you might have for your evening guests. And then, so that's around 9 o'clock. After that, then the next bit is your exit. So you and your partner leave the party and go off on the start of your married life. Hooray! Okay, so here's your example wedding day timeline. I have tidied it up a little bit for you. I hope it's a little bit clearer. Okay, thank you so much. I know that there was a lot of information there, but I hope it has been useful. Now for the freebie. I will be making this template available for you to download if you would like to. There's only going to be a limited number of these available because I have the license to use the artwork for this freebie for only a certain amount. So it will be limited. See the description box below for where you can get it. Thank you. As per usual, please subscribe, like, share, comment. That really helps out my channel. Thank you. Bye. See you again next time.